So normally in the summertime, I don't play league hockey at all. I normally just do like shinnies with like a casual group on every other Saturday, basically, just to kind of keep in shape. But this summer, I decided to give a go at trying to join a team and play league through the entire summer. So funny enough, I ended up on a 19 plus team in a league that I normally never play in. Um, in a nutshell, it's like probably like the highest skilled hockey like I've ever played when it comes to at least ice hockey. So what I really wanted to share with you in this video is basically my experience so far through the summer season. The regular season's over. We're actually in playoffs right now, but I wanted to kind of sum up, in my point of view, some of the challenges that I had playing with a much younger team in a very high caliber level that I'm not used to playing at. And I'm hoping that, me sharing this with you, some of you may have encountered this as well too, where you get called up to a higher division and maybe you get nervous and stuff like that. So, and I'm going to go over some of the things that happened through the summer league I expected, but a lot of it actually, in terms of challenges and struggles, was actually unexpected. So let's roll the highlights from the season and I'll give you some of my thoughts. So one of the biggest hurdles that I really didn't expect going into this season, again, mind you, this is playing with a group of guys who are in their mid-20s. I think one of the older guys is like 30 years old. I'm 43, so one of the biggest mental challenges that I had playing with this team is I'm most likely going to be like the oldest and slowest guy on the ice there, and the goalie at the other end of the rink is most likely going to be a lot younger, a lot more skilled, and a lot quicker than I am. I mean, you just can't defy like age, you know what I'm saying? So having to kind of face that reality night in and night out, did take a bit of a mental toll on me. And I think it resulted in a lot of like pre-game anxiety and me kind of overplaying things when I was on the ice, like holding the stick a little bit too tight, overthinking as opposed to kind of playing based on my natural instincts. At the same time, I think this is something that you have to kind of manage if you're in this situation. You can always kind of let it put you down or take the challenge and make sure that you're like on top of your game. I think it really boils down to something that most, if not all, goalies feel. You always want to feel as a goalie that you're an asset to the team as opposed to like a liability. Me being, 20 years older than some of the guys on the team, there's an easy chance that I just like can't keep up. So this was easily one of the biggest struggles that I had going through this season. Just feeling the pressure of being significantly older than opponents really did kind of affect how I played, I think. The second thing that really kind of threw me off going into the season was my hockey IQ was like literally just out the door. So just to give you the context, the league that I've been playing in for the last 7 years, it's made up of a lot of relatively older guys. The pace is pretty low, I would say. Not to knock on the players there and stuff like that. It's just how the league is structured and how the league is put together. I mean, there's no slap shots allowed, so that really kind of gives you an idea of like what type of caliber play is in that league. And when you kind of get used to that type of level of play, you develop a hockey IQ to read the play based off of the skill level that you're playing against. So because this is a younger division and faster and skilled players, I had to kind of like relearn like the game. The way that these guys were playing the game was just so different than what I was used to. So definitely like the first few games that I had was really an eye-opener. It was quite a stark contrast from what I'm used to seeing in front of me. So a few examples of that is, sometimes when you play lower divisions, there's usually like one or two ringers or guys who really stand out and kind of like carry the team. When you're playing in a division where everyone's really good, it's very much more of like a team game. So a lot more passing, less reliance on one person to carry the team. So what that means is just like a lot more like backdoor plays. There's like 3 touches of the puck before a shot is taken. So these are a lot of things that I just wasn't used to. And I think over time, obviously, playing at this level, you can actually just kind of develop this hockey IQ over time and just kind of getting those reps in. So I don't really feel like I felt too comfortable until probably, maybe like 10 games in, unfortunately. And by then I've already kind of like let in a bunch of goals that I just like couldn't really read the play. So one of the things that, I did expect to be a challenge was obviously the pace. So the skating was like way faster, a lot more passing. And in terms of a goalie, like how do we actually manage that? Obviously your shuffles have to be really tight and on point, but because there's so much more lateral play that I felt was happening, your T pushes and your ability to get across and really set for a shot has to be pretty much like on point. One of the struggles that I had early on was a bad habit that I had playing in a slower league was I was able to basically play quite deep in my crease and kind of just rely on my reflexes. But because these guys can actually shoot pretty damn hard and really kind of pick corners on you, I got burnt like pretty bad, just playing a little bit too deep. So that was like a big adjustment for me, and something that I'm still struggling with a little bit is to kind of get comfortable out of my crease. But again, it's something that you have to kind of go through the paces and get exposed to show your weaknesses for you to actually get a bit better. Not only is the pace a lot faster, the shots are like so much faster than what I'm used to. So just to give you an idea of like the difference between the league I was playing in, I played 7 years in that other league, and I probably got like 1 or 2 bruises maybe. In this league, I got bruises every single night in my arms and my shoulders. These aren't like small little boo-boos that go away in a day. These are like purple bruises that lasted for weeks. It got so bad that I literally just had to upgrade to like a pro spec chest protector, because these guys were just taking like super hard slap shots and just like ripping it at me. And I just, again, it's something that I wasn't really used to. And something that you can actually do to overcome playing as higher skilled players who shoot really hard is it kind of comes to a point where you can't actually like track the puck all the way into your body or into your gloves, because it's just the velocity of it is just too fast. So one thing that you can try to practice is just reading the release, right? That's something that you have to do because the shots are just so damn fast. And this comes with reps over time. So just being able to get exposed to higher level shooters, reading how the puck can actually go off the blade based off of their position and things like that. And I did find that Sense Arena, I know a handful of you out there use it. Sense Arena, when I was using it a few years ago, using like the live shooters, really helped, because you're getting hundreds and hundreds of reps of just seeing shots. And that kind of like builds up over time and allows you to not have to really like follow the puck all the time. As long as you're in position, you can kind of read the release, you can generally know where it goes, and you can kind of move your body or your arms and things like that into position to actually get in front of the shot. So after all the points that I talked about, it kind of sounds like I had a bit of a miserable summer, right? The question obviously comes to, did I enjoy playing in a higher caliber team like this? Absolutely. Like, I love it. Like, it's so much faster. I love the caliber of hockey, and obviously I love being the old man when I get a win. Hey, check this out. I'm playing with the young kids again. I feel like I'm young again, even though I'm like crippled the next day or something like that. And if you're wondering like how the season went, I would say it's a bit of a mixed bag. I did ended up getting a shutout in like the third game that I played with the team, which was awesome because I haven't had a shutout in like years. Unfortunately, we kind of went on a bit of a losing streak afterwards, and I think the lowest point of the season for me was we did get bumped down to a lower division because of that losing streak. And to be honest, like, I did feel somewhat responsible for that, because I probably was playing like the worst stretch of hockey that I've had, and this is probably for many external reasons. Life kind of gets in the way. I was kind of bogged down with a lot of other things, which I will share with you in another video. But I know as a goalie, every goalie usually takes like the weight of the world on their shoulder, and I understand that it is a team game. So I do kind of say that with a bit of a grain of salt, because obviously I want to try to like be the best I can for the team and win every game for them. But in the end, it is a team game. But outside of that minor setback, it's so much fun playing with really skilled players, but it is quite difficult to keep up, and it's really opened my eyes into how I'm going to approach my training going forward, and just like my mindset going into games now, because it's very different than what I'm used to. And I think in a good way, it's going to hopefully allow me to improve my game over the time that I'm playing with these guys, and just hopefully improve my skill set. That way I can kind of keep playing at this level, and hopefully kind of like level up in the next 6-7 months or whatever it takes to kind of get better as a goaltender. So anyway, that's how my summer has been. I hope yours has been pretty awesome. it's like the middle of August, and can't really believe that it's almost time for the fall season. We're still in the playoffs right now, so we're still rolling for a couple more weeks, and not really sure how that's going to turn out, but I'll definitely let you know how that goes eventually when we're done. Anyway, I think next time we have this little chat together, I'm going to finally review one of my most asked things about the stuff that I've been wearing. It's going to be those CCM eFlex 7s, so I will finally do a review on those coming up shortly. Thank you so much for watching, and again, I'll talk to you soon.